What's going on, Warriors Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and the Golden State Warriors start the season 1-0, defeating the Portland Trailblazers 139-104 in the season opener up in Portland. Man, was that a display by the Golden State Warriors in game number one. It started out a little bit rocky, started out a little bit shaky, and Golden State wasn't particularly in a sort of comfortable setting early on. New team, got to gel a little bit, and those mistakes were evident early on in this ball game. I mean, you see the Warriors committing a bunch of turnovers and trying to move a little bit too fast, and being a little bit too impatient, maybe sometimes being a little bit too selfless and resulting in turnovers that way. Golden State ended up cleaning things up, shooting the ball at a really high clip, and ended up just out-talenting the Portland Trailblazers, who are a very young, rebuilding team, likely going to finish toward the bottom of the Western Conference. But Golden State really turned it on there as the second quarter was beginning and into the late first quarter. I mean, they went on this little bit of a run here. I mean, they went 41-29 in the second quarter. Phenomenal offensive output. It was 21-0 at the end of one. The Warriors go on a scoring outburst in the second quarter, spearheaded by Buddy Hield, who finishes the night with 22 points on 8 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. That has to be where we start. And that's the great news for Golden State after game one, is that they have themselves a Klay Thompson replacement. Buddy Hield, who fits in so seamlessly on this Warriors offense, it's like he's slipping on a newly fresh glove. I mean, Buddy Hield running off of screens. Honestly, what surprised me the most about Buddy Hield was his effort on the defensive end as well. We know he's not the best on-ball defender. We know, especially at this age, he's not going to be able to stay in front of these athletic players that are dominating the NBA these days. But what he is going to do is bring you effort. And he was getting in the passing lanes early. He was deflecting the ball and just disrupting a Portland Trailblazers offense that is the best asset on their team. Portland's not known to be a defensive stalwart of a roster. They make their money getting up and down the floor and putting the ball in the basket. Buddy Hield did a good job at defending that. Obviously, got to talk about our main man, Stephen Curry, as well, because, Steph, he had a good night, but he was getting involved in every aspect of the game. Yes, he grabbed 9 boards, 1 rebound off a triple-double, 17 points, 9 boards, 10 assists. Stephen Curry was dominant in those facets of the game, and guess what? He only played 20 minutes, right? If I don't have the correct, 25 minutes. Midway through the third quarter, Steph Curry comes out. The Warriors are up damn near 30, and he just comes out of the game. He gets to sit on the bench, go put his sweats back on, and enjoy that game from the Warriors sideline. Steph didn't have to do too much in the scoring column today. He got off to a slow start from three-point range. But what he does for this Warriors offense cannot be understated, even when he doesn't have a crazy scoring outburst like we saw so many times before. On a game like tonight, he was getting himself involved, getting other players involved, new players in this Warriors roster, helping this team gel together in their opening game of this new season. Sometimes he was a little bit too selfless, forcing the ball in down low when he had a wide-open layup. Steph, what are you doing? You're Stephen Curry. Be a little selfish. Put the ball in the basket. That's what you're going to have to do if the Warriors are going to want to stack up wins this year. But I loved what I saw from Steph. He calms things down. Like, when Stephen Curry is in the basketball game, he calms things down for Golden State. And that's not something that you can say when he's off of the floor. Things are very erratic, more turnovers, a little bit more sloppy play, a little bit of indecisiveness. Who is the primary facilitator when Steph Curry is off the floor? A lot of times tonight we saw it would be a guy like Kyle Anderson, who I was very surprised with in that regard. His ability to initiate is going to be huge for this Golden State Warriors team this year. Draymond Green would bring the ball up a ton. You'd have times where DeAnthony Melton acted as the point guard, which he has the ability to do. We're going to talk about more about this game and more great things that we saw from the Golden State Warriors in just a moment. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's daily fantasy sports partner, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform with over 10 million active members. And they're going to give you some free money when you sign up using our code CLNS. When you use that code CLNS, download Prize Picks. After you place a $5 entry, you'll get $50 deposited in your account for free. How do you place an entry? You just pick 2 or more players and pick more or less on their projected stats and watch the winnings roll in. My lineup that I had tonight for the Warriors game, I had Andrew Wiggins more than 13 points. He had 20. So we got to show love to Wiggs there. Cashing our Prize Pick square there. Trey Jackson Davis, more than 5.5 rebounds. He only corralled 4. I was very surprised by Jackson Davis's effort on the glass, but those will stack up as the season goes along. And Jeremy Grant had more than 1.5 blocks and steals. If I placed a flex play on this, I would double my money on Prize Picks. But if it all hit, I would win 5 times my money on Prize Picks. That's why it's so fun. They customize it to where you can find the easiest ways to win real money. So take my picks, fade my picks. Just make sure you go and do it at Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, or download the Prize Picks app and use our promo code CLNS to get $50 for free when you place a $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Warriors got players, man. I'm going to keep talking about some of these guys, and can't not talk about this game without talking about Andrew Wiggins and a little bit of return to form for him early on in this new season. 20 points from Big Wigs on 8 of 15 shooting and 4 for 7 from 3. I will take that. That's the Andrew Wiggins that we're going to need all season long. A 20-plus point per game guy on a daily basis. He didn't do too much on the defensive end. He's got to get a little bit back into game shape, but at least the jump shot is there. At least we're seeing that from Andrew Wiggins to start the season. We're seeing jump shots all over the place from Golden State. They ended up making how many threes tonight? 20 threes tonight on 48 attempts. That's what we like to see. I honestly want those three-point attempts to be even more. It felt like the Warriors were getting up a ton. I want to see even more. That 48 is not going to be enough to be at the top of the NBA. You saw what the Boston Celtics did in their opener. They shot 61 of them, and they made 29. Golden State today, though, 41.7% from 3. Clap it up for your Golden State Warriors. That is even more fantastic news for Golden State in a big time win. I'm not going to say that, the Portland Trailblazers are the NBA's toughest competition, or if Golden State is going to win anything this season, you go through the Portland Trailblazers. But, man, I loved what I saw from the Dubs tonight. If you love what you saw from the Dubs tonight, how about you subscribe to the channel? If you want daily videos, we've been getting not only like 4 or 5 videos out a week the past couple weeks, but there's so much to do here at Chat Sports with the NFL season in full swing. If you want more daily videos and you want more watch parties for your Golden State Warriors, hit that sub button. We gained over almost 200 subs in the first Warriors watch party of the season. I was pumped up. Dub Nation was pumped up, and you can be pumped up with us if you join the channel today. We're covering your Golden State Warriors like nobody else on YouTube all season long. So join us here for Warriors news, Warriors rumors, trade rumors that pop up. We'll be covering them right here on the channel. If you love your Golden State Warriors, you'll love what we got here going at Warriors Today. Subscribe now, and we'll keep going with today's video. Talking about this Warriors team and what it can do on so many ends of the floor. I am pumped up to see what this Warriors team can do, especially defensively. We talk about a guy we haven't mentioned yet who didn't get in the scoring column tonight, Brandon Podziemski. You know what Brandon Podziemski does? You know how he's going to make his money in the NBA? He is going to be a dynamic player in the effort category. He's going to be a dynamic player in the dirty work category. Multiple times tonight, Brandon Podziemski putting his body on the line, taking charges in front of Portland Trailblazer offensive players. Putting his body on the line with wearing a mask. He fractured his nose like last week, and he's already putting his body on the line. He's diving on the ground for loose balls. Same I saw from Trace Jackson-Davis. Same I saw from Kevon Looney. Guess what? For a Warriors team that really lacks an established second scorer, we know that Steve Kerr wants Andrew Wiggins to be that guy, but for a Warriors team that really lacks a second scorer on this team, that somebody that's established, somebody that's all-star level, we're going to need guys to make plays like Kevon Looney, Trace Jackson-Davis, Brandon Podziemski did for the Warriors tonight. Diving on the floor, diving for loose balls, trying to gain your team extra possessions, because that is what wins in today's NBA. That is what wins, man, because especially when you can't out-talent a team, what happens when you match up with the Dallas Mavericks? What happens when you match up with the OKC Thunder? What about the Boston Celtics who put you down by 40, maybe even 50 last season? I want to forget about that game. You're going to have to make those plays in the effort column. A couple more guys we have to make note of because Golden State was phenomenal. Gary Payton II, claps up to him. I was talking nonsense on Gary Payton before this game began, and he shut me up real quick. I'm not going to lie. He shut me up. Gary Payton, a plus 26 in the plus-minus column today. Only 8 points on the night, but he was making his impact felt. He had 2 steals. Really, really good defense to offense, getting out in transition for Gary Payton II as well. Now, somebody who I totally trust in the half-court offense for Golden State for long stretches, but when you need a lockdown defender in the game, Golden State has a man that they can go call on. Who else got in on the steals column today? Who is this I'm talking? Oh, yeah, DeAnthony Melton. Constantly, when he has the ability to still see his man and see the ball, He gets his hands in the passing lane. He tries to create extra possessions. He tries to create turnovers. He created 3 for Portland tonight. 3 steals for D'Anthony Melton. Who else is in that department? Kyle Anderson gets his hands in there as well, getting dirty. Kyle Anderson and D'Anthony Melton got out on the break, wide open. No defense in front of them, no defense behind them. Easy money transition buckets, because that's another reason the Golden State Warriors are going to need to win games this year. They're going to have to play fast. I saw that a lot early on, almost a little bit too much early on with the way that Golden State was turning the ball over. But, man, for game 1, for a team that we haven't seen yet together, they were awesome, man. Clap it up for your Golden State Warriors. I'm pumped up to see what this team can do down the line this season, man. Like, is it crazy to say that they have the opportunity to go out there and grab an established playoff spot? Like what I saw today, with how well Buddy Hield, Melton, Anderson fit in, with the progressions that we've seen from TJD. He played great stand-up, hand-up defense today inside. Draymond Green still has it on the defensive end. He even hit a 3 from the corner today. Warrior corner 3-pointers were dropping. Shout out to Moses Moody, who hit a couple as well. We didn't talk about him just yet, but he didn't really see as traditional run as maybe I would have hoped for Moses Moody. He was a part of this core this part of this unit in the late first quarter that didn't really seem to mesh too well, and he never really came back in until the game was already in hand. Warriors were already up 30, and Steph didn't see the floor again. So want to see more a different look for Moses Moody, maybe insert him into a different lineup. But shout out to even the guys on the end of the bench, man. Lindy Waters II puts in 2 3-pointers, a perfect 3 for 3 from the floor. Grease Santos, who got in the scoring column as well, got 3 points from him. I mean, I was just overall impressed. I have a ton of takeaways from this game, and we'll dive into more from this game and what's to be done beyond for Golden State. But what was your number 1 takeaway from this game for Golden State? If I had to say, it's probably the fit of Buddy Hield is even better than we thought. It's even better than we thought coming into the season. He's going to be a 6th Man of the Year candidate, in my opinion, and I'm very excited for what Buddy Hield can bring this Warriors team heading into 24-25. We have so many more games to cover this season. Hopefully we can be live for all those games like we were for game number 1 against the Trailblazers. The only way that we can make that happen is if you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that sub button. YouTube.com/WarriorsTV. We're going to be here all season long covering your Warriors like nobody else on YouTube. So hit that sub button for us. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go, Dubs. We are 1-0. Let's go, Dubs.